come together in a flash. Stephen, you were recently hired as the manager of international affairs for a big company based in New York. Congratulations. How did you get that job?
About 2 years ago, we moved to New York because my wife was offered a job as a chef in a well known Thai restaurant. If it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have been able to apply for this job. My wife grew up with Darika, a Thai domestic worker who took care of her since she was very young and was also a fantastic cook. Darika not only sparked a passion in my wife for Thai cooking, but she also taught her a lot of her cooking secrets. Darika played a decisive role in my wife's life, and thanks to her, she has her current job. But she also played a decisive role in my life in an indirect way. You could say that Darika is one of the domestic workers to whom I owe my career, but she's not the only one. There's also Helena.
Who is Helena?
Helena was much more to me than a nanny. She was one of the three most important women in my life. If it hadn't been for her, I would not be who I am today. Not as a professional and not as a human being. She's like a second mother to me. Helena was the child of a Brazilian mother and a Colombian father, and she arrived in my home when I was a baby to take care of me while my parents worked in the family business. Without even realizing, while playing and hearing songs and stories from Latin America, I learned to speak Portuguese and Spanish. And being trilingual has opened many doors for me in the business world, including the doors to this company.
Stephen, were you always aware of the crucial role that domestic workers have played in your life?
No, I never really thought about it until recently, since I was already an adult and a father. It's funny, you just assume that their work is something that they should be able to do naturally, not an actual job. We grow up taking for granted that they're there to take care of us because that's their natural role as women. And sadly, because they're poor, immigrants, people of color, etc. We have this bias, oftentimes unconscious, that makes us assign these roles to women in the most disadvantaged groups without recognizing them as workers. My wife and I completely changed our views on domestic work when Susan, Melissa, and Gloria came into our lives.
Your children, right?
No. Domestic workers make it possible for us to step out the door every day and make a living doing what we love. Susan takes care of our 2 children. Melissa keeps our home functioning. She cleans up, washes, irons, cooks, and Gloria takes care of my mom. I can't even imagine what our lives would be like without them taking care of the most precious things that we have with so much love and dedication. We owe all 3 of them, and also Darika and Helena, our financial well-being and the stable life that we're able to enjoy today.
How do you put into practice your recognition and appreciation for domestic workers in your daily life?
Well, it's pretty simple. Just respect their rights as workers. It's not enough and not fair to treat them as if they were members of the family. Leaving things like that would be just making an excuse to not recognize their role, to not appreciate them and treat them as workers, which is what they are, and not recognize ourselves as employers, which is what we are. Treating them well is crucial, but in and of itself, that's not enough. In my family, domestic workers receive what they are entitled to: a good salary, a workday with dignity, vacation, days off, Social Security contributions, a safe workplace. I mean, this is what the law requires and what any decent person should do.
But actually, not everybody thinks and behaves like you, Stephen. What could you say to employers of domestic workers who don't meet their obligation as employers?
Well, you can go ask my friends, neighbors, and coworkers. They'll tell you I've become an activist for domestic workers' rights. But I do try to raise people's awareness wherever I go. And today I'd like to take this opportunity the IDWF is giving me to tell all the domestic employees everywhere in the world to take just 5 minutes to think about the stories I've shared. I'm proof positive that domestic workers not only make all of the other jobs possible, but that oftentimes they're the ones that are enabling the people they're working for to pursue their dreams. Let's try to make it so that decent work isn't just a dream for them, but a reality. The ability to do that is in our hands.